Today, Team Apple faces off against Team Judy in the first ever epic Animal Crossing wrestling match. Team Apple, led by Apple, with teammates Zucker, Pom Pom, and Kiki, versus Team Judy, led by Judy, with her teammates Gale, Stitches, and Freya. Who will win? There will be 3 matches, a best 2 out of 3. The winning team will get bragging rights and win our Olympic star medals. Animal Crossing villagers go head-to-head in this super epic Animal Crossing wrestling match. Let's go! Now you're probably wondering, how the heck will these Animal Crossing villagers wrestle with each other? I don't remember that being a feature in Animal Crossing. Well, I started by building an arena, a wrestling mat type fighting arena for the villagers to wrestle in. Once the villagers are ready to fight, they will be put into the arena together and battle it out. They can do all types of tricks and spins. They can hit each other with teacups, pull out explosives, get out their nets and hit each other with it and whack-a-mole, but most importantly, running into each other. That will deal damage. The villagers will have health bars, and every time they get hit by something, they'll lose health. With that said, let's get into the matches. First up, Judy vs. Apple. It is a battle of a lifetime. We have to start with these two queens. They've been having a bitter rivalry for months now, and it's time to put that rivalry to rest. 2 Animal Crossing villagers stand before me. Judy vs. Apple. 2 rivals. This is like oil and water. Oil and vinegar? This is a bigger rivalry than Britney Spears versus Christina Aguilera in the 2000s. Go! We'll be wrestling against each other right now. So, here we go. The villagers are ready to rumble. I'm going to put the health bar right in front of you right now so you can visually see, and bam, let's get this show on the road. We start off with Apple in the top right corner, pacing left and right. Judy on the left here just kind of chilling. This is the calm before the storm, I imagine, and Apple's ready to bring that storm. She's ready to be a tropical storm. And all of a sudden, Judy comes up, looking to smack Apple across the face. Lots of frustration these past few months. I don't blame each other, Go for it. Let it out, queens. But Apple waves to Judy, and they're being pretty friendly, but someone's got to be taken down. Can I get an amen? So right now, they are being very passive with each other, and Apple is running towards Judy, but does not make any contact. She has her bag out, ready to smack her with it, but she will not put her hands on Judy, not yet. They're playing very conservatively, not laying any hands on each other, at least not yet. And then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, Judy is singing, and the singing is hurting Apple's ears so much, she's so frustrated that she's losing health. Can Judy just sing out? Can she just break, instead of breaking glass, she's breaking Apple's roots. She's breaking Apple down in the brain, and she's singing so loud, so ferociously. Apple is taking a lot of damage from this singing. Me too. I mean, I can't hear anymore. My ears are starting to ring too. I don't blame Apple, but this is a very strong strategy from Judy. Just sing your heart out and let Apple just run around, hurting her head from this song. Apple is going up close to Judy, but will she be able to make a hit? Apple's on the move, and she pushes Judy a little bit. That counts as some punch. She also's got her purse in her hand, so that would be a big blow. And Apple's going for it again, pushing Judy for a second time. Oh my gosh, but Judy is singing. That's doing a lot of damage to Miss Apple. It's a fairly close fight, but Judy is definitely in the lead here with all that singing damage, when all of a sudden she pushes Apple. Oof. One more big blow to Apple, and her apple's gonna be rotten. Judy's basically a rotten little worm going through Apple right now with that singing voice. But Apple could come back. She's got her big item right now. It's basically a sword, which is this bag, and she pushes into Judy, and Judy stops moving, and she hits her with her bag. And you know more than I do that Apple has a ton of stuff in her bag, and that did a lot of damage, and it beat Judy. So Apple is the winner of the first fight of the wrestling match. She wins out of nowhere with her big bag. Speaking of bags, Zucker's holding a bag. I was a little offended that they were talking in the middle of the wrestling match. And of course, what are they talking about? Would you rather lick a fish or bite a worm? In the middle of my big Sunday night event here on my YouTube channel? Wow, the disrespect is too much. They're still talking about would you rather lick a fish. And now Zucker just wants to lick a fish. fish. Well, Zucker, maybe after you win your match, I will reward you with a fish to lick. But you have to battle first. So make sure to subscribe to me, Nikachu, for daily fun Animal Crossing videos just like this. You won't find it anywhere else. So now Judy is out of this match. Apple can fight again if her team chooses to nominate her, since she did not get defeated yet. But this match is going to be Zucker versus Stitches. I think this is going to be a very epic match. Judy, sadly, is going to have to only watch from the sidelines, but Stitches is a formidable opponent. Let's get this graphic on the board here. Two legendary lazy villagers, two of the most popular villagers in the entire game. We have Stitches on the left, representing Team Judy, her fellow bear cub villager. Then we have Zucker, who's been a longtime friend of Apple on the island, over a year now. That's a formidable friendship. Two Animal Crossing villagers stand in front of me. Zucker, one of my favorites, and a longtime resident on this island. He pays his taxes. He doesn't. I haven't gotten a single dime from him. But he's facing against a fan favorite, another lazy villager. Tension. It's Stitches. You'll be needing Stitches, no Shawn Mendes, after this battle, because he's got a lot of fight in him. 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, it's now time to go. Who do you think's gonna win? I think this is gonna be a tough match. Stitches is very strong, but Zucker is very, very, very smart and might bring some props. Oh my gosh, Stitches with a very strong start pushes him while holding a net. That little, wooden handle thing does some big damage, but Zucker could definitely come back. It's not anyone's clear win just yet. Stitches does have a strong first lead though. Zucker carrying a carriage, a little bit of a wooden box, and it has a blanket in it. He could hit Stitches with it. Stitches coming up very, very strong with the net, looking like it's about to hit Zucker, but actually Zucker moves a little bit, rotates, and hits Stitches with his carriage that he has a blanket in. Maybe he has some picnic foods in it. I don't know what's in there. It looks like some strawberries, hopefully not apples, because Apple will be offended if Zucker just brings out an apple and starts eating it. I would be too if I were Apple. So now our villagers are just kind of hanging out. They're walking around. They're not really making any physical contact. And then Stitches smacks into Zucker, doing more damage. But then Zucker comes from behind and hits Stitches a big critical hit with Zucker's nose? Sponge? What are those things called? He's got like a tentacle on his nose? I don't know what his nose is called. That big, or is that his mouth? I don't know. Whatever that big circle thing is in the middle of Zucker's face, that thing hit Stitches, and it was a critical hit, folks. A critical hit. That was like a Pikachu doing a Thunderbolt on a Magikarp. It was a critical hit. But it's pretty close still. They have about the same health, but now they're breaking into conversation. I don't know about this, folks. I don't know if I would just sit down and be merry, jolly, whoopity-hoopity-hoo with my rival as we're doing a WWE wrestling match. But Stitches says, "Gets ready. It's time to play the Quiz of Sayings." Wow, we have a random quiz game. Stitches says, "Two wrongs don't make a what?" I don't know. My bed for me? Oh, now they're angry. Oh, they're angry at me? Oh, I should be angry at them for derailing my big production. I think it's becoming a little bit too much about me and not the villagers. So I'm just going to stop and let them do their thing. Back to fighting. And Stitches runs into, oh my gosh, just obliterating poor Zucker, running into him. Very scary for Zucker. He now has low HP, but Zucker could make a comeback, all right? That thing in the middle of his face does big damage. He's got the wooden basket, but Stitches bumps into him. They bump into each other, doing big damage, and then Zucker jumps into Stitches' net, which is an instant KO. So Stitches wins this round. Woo! Good job, Stitches. Stitches is the winner, and he will be fighting Apple in the final round. Representing Team Judy, it's Stitches. Great job on Stitches. A very calculated move. He used his net to his advantage, his sheer Stitches power. Good for Stitches, doing some good damage. He seems pretty happy too. He's talking about a big bug contest coming up. What about Zucker? How is he feeling after a loss? He says, I'm so sleepy. Summer's so hot, but you can't hide inside because a bunch of fun stuff happens outside. And of course, there's camping. It's like being at home, but with even more bugs. That sounds disgusting. All right, so it's nighttime now. It's the prime time event before everyone goes to bed. I guess all the villagers are going to bed at 7 p.m. But Apple's coming out for Team Apple versus Stitches on Team Judy. And this is going to be a wild one, folks. These are two extremely strong piranhas in the Animal Crossing world. Stitches is made out of, like, fluff, and he could tear down some people. He's got great defenses, great strength. Apple, though, is a known demon. She will rip apart anyone for success. Two villagers stand in front of me in the final match. This is the finals, folks. This is the finals. Apple, a legend, an icon. She's beyond the moment. She is the era. She is the time. She is the versus Stitches, a monster. Frankly, a monster. I got this cute little thing. My dad bought this for me. I'd have to hide it in front of Stitches because he would kill him. I think I just killed him. Am I Stitches? Anyways, two Animal Crossing villagers stand in front of me. Who will win? Who will lose? Let's see. 3, 2, 1, go. So this will be a very good battle. It's starting now. Let's see who wins. All right, they're starting by walking away from each other. They got a similar build. They're kind of short and round. So I think it's a pretty even match. I feel like if we had someone like Gale, who's a freaking alligator, that would be pretty a big disadvantage, as one chomp from Gale's big fangs would annihilate any of these twerps. But enough of that. It's all this big match, and there's some big damage going on there. Did you see they ran into each other? We're gonna call that a wash. They both kind of just like pushed on each other's hands, so no one took any big damage from that. They're both very defensive. I told you, Apple's very defensive. Stitches is made out of fluff. It's very hard for them to take any damage. They're just kind of walking around enjoying the night. It's 7 o'clock. It's still warm outside, but not too warm outside. Stitches walks up to Apple, but Apple, it runs away. She says, not today, Satan. She stormed off like a diva off a set, and that's why we love Apple. But they're just kind of walking around, looking at each other. They're kind of getting used to their surroundings. Stitches goes and waves at Team Apple in the cheerleading stands, and stealing Apple's supporters is really going to make Apple mad. And I think that's a bad idea for Stitches, because an angry Apple is capable of anything. An angry Apple could destroy Goku Super Saiyan 4. An angry Apple could tear down Arceus. An angry Apple would be the strongest fighter I'd ever, witness in my life. But Stitches pushes Apple a little bit, doing a little bit of damage there. But it's anyone's game. Apple's walking around like she owns the place. And sister, yes you do. You better walk across that stage, queen. We all know you're capable of this win. Let's go, Apple. But Stitches is very strong too. Let's not act like he didn't just rip apart Zucker like he was calamari for free. Alright, let's not mess with Stitches. I haven't seen stuff like that since Mad Max Fury Road. Alright, so they are getting very close to each other again, but oh my gosh, a big blow from Stitches, pushing Apple out of the way, doing some damage there. And then, oh my gosh, no way. This is the biggest shock of anything I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never been this shocked. Stitches pulls out a freaking explosive and lights it, and Apple runs into it. That's like when you throw that big bomb in Super Smash Bros. And it blows everyone up. Oh my gosh. I did not. I honestly, guys, I had no idea this was even possible, that he was going to be able to bring out a freaking explosive. Oh my gosh. Apple pushed him a little bit, doing some damage. She looks very cute. I had to take this screenshot. We're rooting for a girl, but that explosive was dirty gameplay. But you gotta respect it. He pulled out all of the props. He was like Silky Nutmeg Ganache in the last episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. Stan Silky, by the way. Silky for the win, let's be honest here. But I love Silky Nutmeg Ganache. But Stitches pushing Apple again, but Apple pushing back, all right? Pushing back. All right, let's not act like Apple isn't doing good here too, doing some big damage. And now they're pushing on each other, but Apple's doing more of the pushing, but then Stitch just pushes too much, and it was the final blow. There's no way Apple could have won after that big explosive gimmick. And oh my gosh, Stitches is not the highlight right now. Zucker just had a fight with Pom Pom. Pom Pom is like a mean bug who bites. Oh my gosh, what happened? Pom Pom is the worst. Man, she's like a stale potato chip. The biggest fight of them all was happening on the sidelines, folks. This is ridiculous. Pom Pom is like a mean bug who bites you. Oh my gosh. What did she do? Pom Pom didn't listen when I tried to tell her about a sandwich I invented in a dream. Okay, I'm on Team Pom Pom for this one. Zucker's going a little too far. Oh my gosh, not in the middle of my big finale. Zucker's trying to upstage me every chance he gets. But congratulations to Team Judy for winning. And honestly, big applause to the king of wrestling, I guess, Stitches. Stitches did phenomenal, bringing out all the props, all of the weapons, doing everything he possibly can to win. That's very respectable. So congratulations to Stitches and Team Judy, you win some beautiful star medals. I'm also editing this video in this outfit. Well, there you have it, everyone. Team Judy won. I'm personally not Team Judy, but a lot of you are. A lot of you in the comments are rooting for Judy, so congratulations. This is your win. Make sure to subscribe to Nikachu for big biceps, big triceps, big quadriceps, big pentaceps.